Alright, what's up everybody? Vindicated underscore here, and today we will be doing a patch analysis for the new balance patch that just came out today. Um, this is my first time doing a patch analysis, so pardon me if I'm not like doing it right or whatnot, but I'm just gonna give my 2 cents on what I think of this patch. So what I decided to do is use Prezi as a presentation for this analysis because it's gonna be a bit boring if I just go through like the white text of the patch that's listed on the game. Yeah, hope you guys like it. Alright. Oh, by the way, this is actually inspired by Ben Merlini Wu from Dota. If anybody watches him, he uses Prezi to do all his presentations. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Alright, let's get into it. Patch analysis. I think this should be version 2.1.1. Could be wrong, but yeah, this should be right. If anyone hasn't seen the patch notes, details are available at this website. You can check it out. Alright, let's get into it. The short and sweet. So what is this patch about? Pretty much, it's just buff to Verad, Dark Dragon, Anubis. I think the Light and Dark Sky Dancers got the most buff. Not sure if other elements got touched as well. Cobalt Bombers got buff as well. Nine-Tailed Fox and other relevant monsters in the game. We'll be talking about patch themes as well, and the biggest losers and winners of the patch. Alright, let's get into it. So first off, Verad. So when I first saw the patch, I was pretty excited because as a Verad owner, honestly, he's pretty useless outside of TOA in my opinion. So I think Comtois decided, alright boys, it's time to bring Verad into PvP. So what change did Verad get? So his second skill, which is Snowstorm, damage increased by 20%. Now, is this big or is this not? I'm not sure yet. I think Verad got his scaling changed to proportionate to defense instead of attack 2 or 3 patches ago, I'm not sure, but nobody's actually been using him in PvP. He's still a TOA monster because I think the multiplier is not as big as the third skill, so I think everybody wanted his third skill, Absolute Zero, to deal damage proportionate to defense. So yeah, Comtois actually listens, huh? I don't know. So second skill increased by 20%. I feel like that's pretty big, honestly. 20% is actually a lot. And freeze chance got increased from 50 to 60%. So if you have a max skill Verad, it's 80%. It's not too bad. It's pretty good still for TOA. Buffs above, and the big change, honestly for me, is Absolute Zero. So Absolute Zero, before this patch, what he does is he resets attack power to 0, and that's about it. Damage is actually pretty low because it scales of attack, and you don't usually run Verad on attack stats based on attack, so they change it now to base on defense. So I think that's pretty big. Plus, he gets a freeze chance of 1 extra turn. So I think what this means is the spare Verad is no longer needed, in my opinion. I think there's no point in running the spare because you get a chance to reduce ATP to 0, plus you get a freeze chance. So I think if you want to ruin Verad just for TOA, I think Violence probably the best build right now. But with this change, I think he might be usable in PvP. So how would you build Verad 2.0? I think what I'm gonna do, I'll be doing I'll do a couple of tests. I'm thinking Rage Will, or if you're not running Will, you can do Blade or whatever. speed, crit damage, defense, I think is the best build. Or you can run defense, crit damage, defense if you have enough speed, but actually his base speed is pretty low, so it's around 93. So this might be, I don't know. I think Virat might be better than Poseidon now, because Poseidon didn't get any changes in this patch. And his third skill does pretty okay damage, but now that Virat's scaling is based on defense, I think it might do decent damage. I'll have to test on this. So I check on the wiki side. His multipliers is actually 465%. So that's pretty decent if you ask me. I'll test it out. I think I'll build him something like God Blade Wheel for Arena AO. Speed, crit damage, defense. I think that's the build to go. It still awakens into accuracy, which is not ideal. If only come to us really like, if they really want to make Virat into a PvP monster, they should change this to like speed or even like crit rate. That will help a lot. But yeah, accuracy is kind of shitty, honestly. But I like this change. I'm pretty excited to see what my Virat can do. All right. Next is the Dark Zeros. So Dark Zeros, from what I read on Reddit, might be the best dragon now, guys. So his second skill, Dark Storm. Look, the Dark Zeros. Honestly, not many people have Dark Dragon in the game. I only know like one person that has it, which is my guilty. But yeah, his second skill, Dark Storm, increased 13% damage. It's pretty good because second skill attacks our enemies 4 times, so it's a lot of damage you want to use in arena. And the important buff is Decimate. So instead of 100% crit, we now get crit damage increased by 100%. Is that a buff or no? I'm gonna say it's a buff because runing Dark Dragon, like no crits, actually really hard because, like, let's say you build this Dark Dragon like Rage, right? You usually keep crit rate on your Rage runes or even Blade, so I think this is a really big buff. So potentially we're gonna see like 300 crit damage Dark Dragon. I don't know. I'm excited to see who has a Dark Dragon and see what he can do with it, but I don't have one, obviously. But yeah, I think he's pretty good right now. If I have one, I think I don't think you change the build, but obviously you put crit rate now because he doesn't get 100% crit on the third skill. I actually didn't like the skill as well. The attack always lands as a crit. I think crit rate's really easy to rune, and crit damage is actually pretty hard. So yeah, I like this change. It's a pretty good change. Next, the Anubis. So Fire Anubis. So I think nobody in the game actually uses a Anubis. I actually have a Wind Anubis level up. I thought he would be good for raids, but no. He's actually pretty shitty because his harmful effect rate is actually really low after you max skill. So yeah, I'm pretty disappointed that Come2Us didn't make his harmful effect rate even more, honestly. I thought he would be pretty decent in raids, but nope, still pretty shitty. So there's a lot of like buffs with Anubis, but I think the biggest one is the Fire Anubis. So let's have a look. You guys can check out other changes. In the patch notes, I just listed out the important ones. So Savior, the passive, instead of doing proportional to the Anubis level, they now change it to max HP. So is this Rena 2.0? I don't know. We'll have to see, guys. I fed all my Fire Anubis away, so I'm kind of regretting it now, but I don't know. You guys might see Fire Anubis on 80 in Rush Hour. This might be a good change. No idea. I'll have to check it out as time passes by. Next, let's have a look. Elven Ranger buffs. So I believe all elements of Elven Ranger got buffed. The only buff is damage increase. It's pretty good. It's around like 10 to 18% plus. So what does that mean? That means pretty much easier for NB10. If you do not have a Fire Elven Ranger level up for Necropolis, I highly recommend it as a starter Necro team. I used to use him in my Necro team, but not anymore. But after this change, I might test it out again. I'm not sure which skill got increased damage. I didn't actually list it down, but increased damage is still pretty good. So this means easier for NB10, more damage, it goes faster runs. Really good monster for NB10. Next, Light Sky Dancer. So if you guys haven't seen the tier list that I just made, I'll put it in the description down below. I feel like Light Sky Dancer was one of the worst snap 5 in the game, honestly, because she basically has like no role in the game. I don't know. Is she still the most useless snap 5 in the game? Who knows? So instead of Blade Fan's second skill, they now gave her a Muse. That's pretty good. So she's a healer right now. Where would you use her? I think Raid. I think she might be decent in Raid now. So instead of running a Chasun, you can run like an offensive Chasun. Yong Hong is her name. Yeah, if I have one, I would definitely be very happy. So she actually has one heal and a Muse. The heal percentage is based on your attack power. If they didn't change anything, so that's really good. So she's got offensive Chasun. Plus her third skill fills up the target's attack gauge to fullest. It's pretty good for raid, in my opinion. She's a really good raid monster. PvP, I don't know. Unless you run Chasun on like AO and you have a Light Sky Dancer, she might be a good alternative, but that means she's gonna be squishy then, because you're mainly gonna run her like triple attack or speed attack, something like that. Yeah. Dark Sky Dancer. Let's have a look. So before this update, what people use Dark Sky Dancer for is mainly Arena 80 for her speed leader, which is 28% attack speed. So her Muse got changed to Blade Fan. Honestly, I have a Miyang, and Blade Fan is actually an okay skill, it's nothing big. I think my Miyang does like 6k damage on Death Break with attack buff on raid boss, but yeah, I don't know. This might be enough, honestly. But the biggest change is not the second skill, it's actually the third skill, so Dagger of Grudge. So currently it ignores defense when your HP is less than 50%, but they change it to unconditionally ignore defense. So I was when I saw this, I was like, unconditionally, what does that even mean? So I did a quick Google search, and the definition I got is not subject to any condition. So v.2.1.1? Yeah, I think she might be the new Faye, but it's only one attack though. I think it's only one hit. I think Faye hits 3 or 4 times. So yeah, if you have a Dark Sky Dancer, you should be excited. She might be fun to use now. I don't know. Where you will use it? Probably Guild War, if anything. Yeah, probably just Guild War. She doesn't have a heal anymore though, so that kind of sucks. If she still had a Muse, whoa. Somebody just follow me while I'm offline. That's weird. Alright. Yeah, I think I'll be excited if I have a Dark just soon. Alright. Next. What is next? Bomb. So, I believe Bombers got buffed. Actually, I have to check the patch. I'm not sure what the buffs are. So, pretty much, it's just additional damage, 11%. What else? Harmful effect rate. So, they make them almost 100%. Does it really matter? In my opinion, I don't think it really matters, guys. I think if you do not have a Sierra, Bombers are actually still kind of lackluster in the game. Yeah, if you don't have a Sierra, I wouldn't be too excited. Like I said in this presentation, does it really matter? I don't think so. Next, other random buffs. Alright, so I have to check my. So I think that's the major buff for the game. Everything else seems kind of minor. Let me have a look. So I think Velajo got damage increased by 6%. I don't know, it seems kind of random why they would do that. What else? Oh, the Dark Archangel. His passive provokes the enemy 1 turn for every attack. Yeah, I don't think that's a pretty big deal, honestly. Kinda meh. Dark Phoenix got a buff. I think Dark Phoenix should be pretty okay now. Alright, next is Beth. The underwhelming Beth. So what does she get? Her Gouge? I believe it's that skill, I'm not sure. I need to have a look. Beth. So oh, that's second skill. So instead of attacking 1 time, it now attacks 3 times. But doesn't matter, because unlike Raki, she doesn't death break in her second skill, so it's kind of whatever, honestly. Additional effect is continuous damage. Nope. Damage increase, yeah. Beth slightly little better than before, but I'm still gonna say Beth is really one of the most useless Nephilim in the game. If you have a Beth, I wouldn't be too excited if I were you. But yeah. 9-tailed foxes, so they got little buff, damage, what else, some branding stuff. Honestly, 9-tailed foxes are pretty underwhelming. I don't think they deserve any mention. Yeah, they're kind of like whatever, in my opinion. I don't think they're actually relevant or do anything special. Light Vampire, ooh, let me have a look. So what happened to the Light Vampire? Let's see. If you guys read my tier list, I rated Light Vampire actually really low. I think he's really bad as a Nephilim as well, so his passive, let me have a look. What does his passive do? So, against the power of immortality, it protects you from dying. So it prevents you from dying, and they increase the chances of enemy glancing hit by 30%. So it's like a Molly-ish kind of monster. And what change did they give him? In receiving fatal damage, decrease the HP of all other allies by 10%. Oh. That's interesting. So and then she recovers the HP by the amount of... I don't know, guys. It's one of those monsters where you just look and you just go like, ugh, does this really matter? But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of other like random buffs as well. Yetis, Frankenstein, I'm not gonna go into that. I don't think they're very relevant in the game. Yeah, I think that's all the buff there is in this patch. There's nothing too big. So patch themes, what can we learn in this patch? So this is just my 2 cents. So from what I gather is, come to us almost never nerf. So if you are a Camilla, Zeros, Tiana user, I think you should be very content with your summon, and honestly, I think they will never get nerfed in the game. So I've been playing this game since 2014, late, and I've almost seen like never any nerfs. I don't know. I think a couple of monsters got nerfed, but yeah, lately there's not any nerfs. They only buff units. Is that a good thing or bad thing? Honestly, I think that's pretty bad for the game because I feel like this game has like power units where there's actually imbalanced monsters. Shout out to Tiana Sierra. Yeah, they didn't get touched this patch, but Come to Us did actually nerf units that were pretty underused, so yeah. Rakan, I was gonna say Verad. Verad's a good step in the right direction. He might be more PvP used now, but yeah. Balance patch is out every 2 months, so you should expect the next balance patch to be around July, end of July. So that's what I learned. Oblivious to meta game. I feel like Come To Us is actually really oblivious. They have no clue what the meta game is right now in Arena. So for those wondering what the meta game is, it's pretty much just trend and strategy that people use in PvP. So right now in AO, what do we have? We have Devolutions with Bernard, so no, Come To Us didn't do anything about that. And Galleon, so that's two ways of doing speed AO in the game. So you either Devolution or you use Galleon as a wombo combo. So whether you use Bernard or like a Boss Stripper or Tiana, that's how the meta game goes. And Come To Us did nothing about those. So we're still gonna be seeing the same AO. And in terms of AD, I think Varad might be used on AD, I'm not sure. His third skill got a pretty big buff, so we might see like, I don't know, the spare Nemesis Varad. So if you try and Devolution a Varad on AD, might get a turn stolen and they might do Absolute Zero, who knows, we'll see. Metagame in AD, so pretty much in Rush Hour it's all stall units. Come To Us did nothing about them. The changes on standard weekdays, you'll still see like power, strong net 5, so like speed leader plus ATB booster and 2 damage dealer are kind of the trend nowadays on AD. You still see like Chloe's, Veromos, Diomas. Diomas didn't get a touch in this balance patch. Yeah, I really do feel like the metagame will still stay the same for now, but we'll see. We'll see. I think it depends on the players. It actually depends on players on what they do with the balance patch. Next, so Come To Us tries to buff units that are obviously weak underused in the game. That's a good thing. If you own like the Light or Dark Skydancer or Dark Dragon, they got buff. They try to buff Beth as well, but it's kind of meh honestly. So Varad got a good buff. It's pretty good. And what this mean is feature buff for Beth with Khan, random LD net 5. I think that's a guarantee, so I'm pretty sure Come To Us knows what monsters are actually underused in the game at the moment. Next, no nerf change to meta. So as I mentioned before, overused units like Orion, Zeros, Sierra, Galleon, Chisun, etc. are still gonna be used, guys. No changes to them. Stall meta continues? Yeah, I think stall meta will still continue. So you'll still see a lot of Rina, Camillas, and tanky bruises monsters. Whether Fire Anubis will be on AD, we'll have to see. I'm not too sure about that. And lastly, Destroy Rune. So Destroy Rune is still untouched. I don't know why Come To Us not doing anything about it. Honestly, nobody that I know actually uses Destroy Runes. So yeah. Maybe next patch, we'll see what Come To Us do about it. And lastly, before I end the presentation, biggest winner and loser. So the obvious biggest winners are Varad, Dark Dragon, LD Skydancer users. Biggest losers, if you're a Khan owner like me, Beth, Efna, other random LD monsters, you're gonna be disappointed again. So maybe next patch. And biggest winners outside like this patch, Zyros, Camilla, Sierra, Tiana, Orion users, all your favorite monsters, quote, they're safe, so you'll still be using them all the time. And biggest losers, I think it's everyone. So Arena meta, I think, still remains unchanged. Sad as it seems. I don't know. I think we have to switch to Clash Royale, guys. That game. We'll see. Live PvP. I'm excited for live PvP. I hope that changes everything, but I think that's still a long way to go. But yeah, I think that's it for the patch. Hope you guys enjoy this review. This is my first review. I'll try my best. Any criticism, feedbacks, always appreciated. Make sure you like this video, comment, subscribe, those jazz. If you want to see more of this patch analysis kind of presentation, let me know. But yeah, you can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook as listed. But see you guys next time. Peace.